How you doing, folks? It's Merbane. I am going to show you a little zipline highway that I made in the eastern region here. I think I did a pretty good job, incorporated a few other players' zip lines as well. So let's go ahead and get started. One little tip I'll give you right off the bat, especially near a city, park one of your vehicles near the zipline end. That way it doesn't take as long to run back in. Obviously, kind of helps a lot. But let's get it going. One thing right off the bat too, upgrade your zip lines. Why? A, you can add cool little holograms like the Horizon Zero Dawn thing you saw back there. B, it adds an extra 50 meters onto your travel. So obviously that can pay off. Not necessarily distance giving you less, but in certain places like these mountains and stuff up here, you can place things a lot easier. So this first part's pretty self-explanatory. I didn't use that guy's down there, but it's there in case I ever do want to jump down into that little BT area. Obviously putting things in the higher areas helps out. Gives them a better view of everything else. So as we come down here straight, the rest of the straight route, I'm really going to run right down the river. But we got the way station here, so I can either go straight down or back up to the way station. And of course, probably doesn't need to be said, but put your gates close to where they need to be. Every once in a while you got to put them a little further apart. They can't always be helped depending on the geography around it though. But what I did with this guy is I got a nice little triangle here. I didn't really waste a zip line doing it either, since I already had to go down the river anyways. But just kind of helps if I'm coming from the other way from the distribution center up to that point. So when we come down here, especially in this area, you just got to do a little bit of a slalom on this island. But these, for the most part, I kept pretty far apart. I believe I was right at the 350 mark on this one. As I said, right here we'll do a little jump to the left. And then he's kind of blocked off from going very far with the little hill slash mountain right in front of him, as you can see. So what I do there, we're going to jump back to the right. Now this one was actually right on the BT Island, as I like to call this little thing. So I just crawled in, set it up, ran the heck out, over and done. But this gives you a great view. Then I can split right up to the distribution center here. Oh, something's dying. Generator's about to go. Okay, so from the distribution center, I went ahead and gave myself two options. For those of you that didn't know, there is a guy down this way called the Musician. He's kind of in this little lake gully kind of thing. I'll pull up the map here in a minute and kind of show you. Actually, I'll just pull it up right now for you. Yeah, nice little music. So if you pull it up, the Musician guy is right here. So here's, I'll just go back the route we've taken. Again, is pretty much just straight down this river path. Jumped over, back down. There's our DC. There's this one. Now to get to that Musician, what you need to do to begin with is you're going to go right up this hill right here. You're kind of going to go right along this part that I'm flying over right here, this little flat part. Go down, and then I just drop a rope right there. For the river, throw a ladder down, and right there's your Musician. Then again, see, something like that is when it's good that I actually upgraded that zip line, because that one was about 340 out, I believe. So let's run back to the DC, and I'll show you the other route that we take. Now the great thing about zipline is obviously it's a lot faster getting to destinations. You don't get attacked by BTs even when you're going through their zone. Mules aren't much of a problem. You can get shot at. I've been shot at a few times, but they never really did anything to me. So right now this is the route I'm taking to the wind farm, and this one gets a little interesting up at the top too. Now here as well, I did another V to continue straight on, but we'll come back to that. So this is where I was really trying to figure things out, because this area is a pain in the rear because of all the trees, and trees are obstacles, or they can be if you hit a certain part of them. So another player had actually built that zip line that we're looking at across the way, but I wasn't sure if that was going to work. So I had actually tried building up around this way for it, but I was using up way too many zip lines. So I was like, what the heck, somebody put it there for a reason, let's give it a shot, see what happens. So I came down here, then I noticed another guy had placed a zip line. As you can see, that green one right in front of us, and that is right in front of where we need to go. So my challenge was to try to find some way I could link those together. I'll tell you what, it took me a little bit too, but it was ticking me off, so I'll be danged if I wasn't going to find some way to do it. So I ended up climbing up these cliffs. I actually tried climbing all the way up, and you know, that doesn't work very well. But I ended up finding this little spot right here. I'll kind of swerve around so if anyone else wants to use this. And I ended up getting it just right that I can get to there. So again, just to show you kind of how it looks on the map. We came up here, then you're going to jet across to the edge of the woods. Then you're going to come over here. So it's almost like a kind of a straight line if you took the straight line going the way the building is. Right there. And from there, we actually didn't have the tree trunks, I guess, directly in our way, so it's letting us zip right through. And there we go. And this one I left a vehicle parked out there too. But like I said, trying to go around so you can kind of see with those trees all over the place, I would have had to go all the way around there, and that was going to use up, I think I figured either another 3 zip lines at least, and you only have so much bandwidth. Each one of these uses 500, I think. Tell you what, the other nice thing about these, you get some pretty cool views and shots. Okay, so from this part, you remember this one's the one we jumped to straight from the distribution center. So again, just to put it into context for you, distribution center is right here. We jump right out. I'm going to change my angle over here. And for anyone that's played, you know this is the way to get to Port City. And this little area is just riddled with BTs. So we got this one right here that was used by another player. And I can't remember if I said this, but if other players have them, try to use them. You know, as much bandwidth as you can save, because other player stuff doesn't count towards your bandwidth. So I grabbed this one, And how I originally got to this point, though, is so this zip line right here, this end hadn't been built yet, but there had been an end built through that small little cave opening there. So I was trying to find some place that I could connect the two. So this is the spot I got for that. And then when I actually did, I ended up deleting the guy's zip line that was up here and put my own in. And I moved it a little further back. I moved it about, I think as far back as I could without it not connecting anymore. And you'll kind of see my reasoning for that. Way on the edge of the cliff, so now I can go all the way down. Whereas before, his was about where the rocks, well, take that, dog. Jeez, snore much? Right where the rocks kind of are, starting to lead down, and that wouldn't have gave me a good path anywhere. So from right here, I can jump down, put it right at the edge of the hill, so that way I can use, you know, the full 350 meters. And again, pretty cool freaking views. He looks really excited though, doesn't he? You think he'd at least be smiling or something? It's a zip line, man. Come on. Then my handy dandy bike right here. Alright, so that was kind of the zip line route. I'll pull the map up one more time just to go over it again real quick. My dog is snoring away. So, we'll jump real quick back to Capital. It's pretty simple from there, straight shot over. Then if you can set your stuff up right, you can get one going here, and you can branch it off from there as well. So you're not having to go all the way back without having to waste any zip lines either. Then right down here, we just had to do a little slalom, bounce it around, coming straight down again to the DC. DC can go straight up there. Again, just be careful where you're putting them at up here. It could take some time to figure it out. It can be a hassle. So if you want to use that route I did, more power to you. It can be tricky because you got to get things lined up just right. Then of course another one straight down to the mountain guy. That only took 2. And the other one took us, as we saw, right up through there. It's kind of cool as it shows you all your zipline routes. But alright, well that's my little thing. If you guys got any questions or, you know, tips, hints, anything like that, leave a comment below. Thanks guys.